We live in a world that revolves around comparisons. We constantly compare ourselves to magazines, celebrities, and even our best friends to a point that we don't even realize it anymore. It seems normal. Yet the spirit of comparison eats away at the truth in our minds and hearts. It not only begins to deceive us, but slowly destructs the relationships we have simply because we are jealous of one another and feel less than our friends and family. By comparing ourselves to one another, we begin to believe the lies in our thoughts that we need to change, rather than focusing on the things that God has uniquely given to each one of us. When I go to castings, there are often hundreds of other girls waiting to audition for the same job. It is very easy to sit in that tiny waiting room and compare yourself to the other models. Yet when I focused on all of the things I was not in comparison to the other girls, it not only created a lack of confidence in my own abilities and talents, but it also hindered the potential that God has placed me in that casting for. As I focused my eyes inward rather than outward, I became too involved on myself to truly understand the incredible things God has placed me on this earth for. I was literally missing out on the opportunities that God had for me. This is where the renewal of our minds is so important. In Romans 12:2, Paul encourages us not to conform to the pattern of the world. This means not going along with whatever everyone else believes is socially acceptable in regards to body image, because in truth, they are believing lies. We have the authority to take a stand against this thought and not conform to the weight and measurements everyone seems to be striving for. Paul goes on to say that we should be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. How do we renew our minds? The same way that we create a spirit of discernment, by putting on our armor of God and speaking truth over our lives. This includes our refusal to speak out negative thoughts towards ourselves or others. Soon as we speak out our negative thoughts, rather than combating them with the truth, we are perpetuating that negative body image, making it worse in our own lives. As I began to renew my mind by speaking truth over my life and relying on God and his word, a remarkable thing began to happen. I began to be hired for jobs that I would not have had earlier had I been focused on my faults. I remember walking into a casting for a magazine cover that I really wanted. Rather than focusing on the areas of my body that I did not like, I simply prayed that God would guide me through the interview and spoke truth over who I am in Christ. I ended up getting that cover. And what was really neat was that it was for a health magazine and it was their Love Your Body issue. Had I gone to the casting for that cover when I was in comparison mode, I am certain I would not have received such a wonderful gift.